All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to this great event. How about a round of applause for the pep band? Thank you guys. It's clearly an honor to have all of you here as we celebrate the opening of the Olin Family Champion Center. Feels like it was just yesterday. I guess it was 16 months ago. Bob Olin had encouraged me to have it be done in 14 months, but I think we did a pretty good job. But it's great to have you all here for this final step of this journey that started a short 9 or 10 years ago. And the journey started with a conversation about how do we serve Billiken student athletes at the highest of levels? What is the step we have to take? And you're about ready to walk into what we believe is the very finest facility in the country for a basketball-centric program to serve Billiken student athletes. Our vision was very clear. Deliver a best-in-class facility for Billikens of today, for Billikens of tomorrow, and for Billikens of many years to come. The facility will deliver services that are driven by our values and our objectives that you student athletes hear us talk about all the time. It's about educating, it's about competing, it's about building community. It's about our values, and our community has come together to celebrate those, and we couldn't be more proud. The facility will deliver best-in-class academics, career, student athlete development, spiritual development, nutrition, dietetics, sports psych lab, technology suites, sport operations suites, recruiting, and counseling, to just say a few. We don't know another facility in the country that does what this place will do, and for that, I thank all of you for making it happen. There are so many thank yous to go around, and I apologize if I missed some, but I'm going to do my best to get through them real quick. But they really start with our outside campus partners. There's many outside of campus that made this happen, starting with the architect firm Hastings and Shabetta, Chris Shabetta, a local group, Perkins and Will out of Denver, Andy Barnard's here, who really was part of the original inception of the thought, to the McCarthy team who built this unbelievable facility, to Advent who helped us make the branding happen, and our partners at Delaware North who made the nutrition center and the food that you'll eat tonight happen. So would you please help me give a round of applause for our outside partners? And then there's a huge group of campus partners. We'll hear from Dr. Pastello, our leader, but there's so many. It's starting with, I don't know if Vice President Michael Lucido's here, but his A-team who is on this every day, there's a guy by the name of Dustin Montgomery who did an unbelievable job. Dustin, I want you to please stand. Dustin doesn't like to do this. Please give Dustin a round of applause. Smile, Dustin. Come on. You did a great job. There's no question that your commitment to excellence we're very thrilled with. Sheila Mannion and her team, Vice President David Heimberger, especially Jeff Hovey. I think Jeff Hovey's here. The facilities group, Jeff Macko and his team did a just amazing job. My partner in 365 Blue, Sarah Cunningham. Where's Sarah? Sarah's here somewhere. Our Vice President of Student Development over here. Thank you, Sarah. Anita Borgmeyer, our Vice President for PR and Marketing, and last but not least, Danielle Wee in our General Counsel's office. The whole campus team did an unbelievable job of making this happen. So please, how about a round of applause for all of our campus partners? Thank you. And then our department. I want to thank all of you that put up with my vision, and sometimes it took longer than I had hoped, but certainly leading with I'll read them off, but Dr. Janet Oberly, you did a great job. Thank you, Janet. Lisa Miller, who heard all the stories for all 9 or 10 years. John Edwards, Abby Ferguson has done an unbelievable job of pulling all these special events together. We thank Abby. Brian Kunderman, our PR guy. Every time I needed help instantly for a donor ask, Brian was there to help deliver. And so, Brian, I really thank you. I mentioned John Edwards. Jordan Eisler is our video guy. When you get inside and you'll see the videos that are happening, they're the work of Jordan. And all of our coaches and staff, your encouragement, I can't thank you enough. But there's one guy in particular. I told him I was going to call him out. Mickey's been here a long time. Mickey Smith was the one guy that heard all these stories, and he's in late at night, And about 6 o'clock at night on several times, Mickey'd go by and he'd go, "Hey, boss, I think we might do this." So, hey, Mickey, I appreciate your encouragement. Where's Mickey Smith? There you go. Mickey, thank you. And last but certainly not least, my family, Joanne, thank you. My children, they've heard many, many stories. Lucy, Jack, and Sophia. My brother Brian flew in. Thank you. It took their support as we really went down this journey, so I thank all of you guys for making it happen. But this day is a celebration of our community coming together to serve Billiken student athletes. That's what this is all about. And you can't do it without unbelievable leadership. We're going to hear from many of our leaders today. The first one doesn't need a whole introduction, but from the first day he came here, when the Champion Center was a dream, Dr. Pastello has been supportive the whole way in, if it's good for Billiken student athletes, I'm in. How can we find a way? And so please help me welcome our president, Dr. Fred Pastello.
What a beautiful day to be gathered here on this spot to celebrate this magnificent structure. I want to start by just talking about the difference that leadership and vision makes. Early on in my presidency, Chris May started talking about this project and the importance this project will make not simply to Billiken athletics, but to this university, to this community and beyond. Chris was determined, and it took years to begin to get some traction. Years. But Chris never wavered. Chris never wavered because he believes in you. He believes in his coaches, in his staff, in the student athletes who go through this program, and in those who have gone through this program, graduated, and are now out in the world making it the way it ought to be. Leadership makes a difference. So let's join me in thanking our AD and his spouse, Joanne, for all they've done to get us to this moment. It's named the Olin Family Champion Center. We must thank the Olin family for stepping up and providing the lead gift. Not simply the lead gift, parting with treasure to make this possible, but buying into that vision and pushing us for a best-in-class facility, encouraging us to move forward, to put something here that for generations to come will allow us to compete at higher levels, to better serve our student athletes and those who support them. Thank you, all members of the Olin family here today. Bob, Kathy, Steve. I want to thank our chairman, Joe Conran. Joe is adamant in terms of the importance of the role of athletics playing in a campus like ours today. A tremendous fan, supporter, because Joe too believes in the students here, admires the students and wants them to have the best experience possible. Thank you, Chairman Conran. We're honored today to have A10 Commissioner Bernadette McGlade join us. Bernadette, please stand up. Thank you for coming out to. We talk here at St. Louis University about educating the whole person, the transformative educational experience we provide. That requires people and the facilities necessary to make that a reality. Today we gather to mark this milestone in the history of our university, to allow us to better serve those students at the heart of our mission. Joe and Bob often like to joke that Bob can't stand up without giving a commercial, so allow me 1 minute to give one here. We are the oldest university west of the Mississippi River, second oldest, the 27 Jesuit universities in this country. We have been here with St. Louis University High for the longest period of time in terms of continuing organizations, longer than any other. We do great work. We are Billikens in terms of trying to make the world the way it ought to be. And we're having enormous success. As we gather This university has 15,200 students. By 1,100 students, that is the largest number ever in our history. This project, as part of the Accelerating Excellence campaign, was fully fundraised. Thank you. Thank each one of you who contributed to make this possible and that campaign such a success. Thank you. And we are increasingly becoming the global international university we aspire to be, with over 2,000 international students on our campus this fall. We want every student athlete or not, to succeed. We want every student to have a tremendous experience inside and outside the classroom. And what we have here is a facility that will enhance that experience for our student athletes. We are St. Louis's Division I athletic teams. This city celebrates us, supports us, turns out for us, and made this possible. We thank each and every one who did contribute in one way or another. This best-in-class facility will also raise our national profile. We know how good St. Louis is. We know how good St. Louis University is. This facility will allow us to compete on levels heretofore more difficult for us to compete at. This will allow us to attract the sort of student athletes who will benefit from the education we provide and contribute to greater success on the court, on the field. So as we aspire to greater things, today we pause to celebrate a facility that will help us reach those aspirations. Thank you.
As Fred mentioned, he doesn't need a big introduction, but chairman of the board, I describe Joe Conran as relentless in his pursuit of anything good for St. Louis University. He helped unbelievably make this facility happen, and he is a diehard Billiken of all. So please help me welcome Doctor, I call you Doctor. You get called a lot of other things, Joe, but please welcome Joe Conran.
Wow, what a great crowd. What a great day. I would say that this was one of the best days we've had at St. Louis University in a long time, because we have done something unique and special. And when I first started talking to Chris about this, you heard him talk about the various things that happen and will happen in this building. And you didn't hear, as sometimes people ask me, well, is this some kind of athletic facility where people go to work out? And I say, no, it's everything but. It is a facility that will provide the background, the assistance, and the, hopefully, pure education process for 430 athletes. And what I mean by the pure is we want to have them be academically strong. And as those of you who know St. Louis University and our athletic programs, we have real student athletes. We have a 3.4 average for the entire 430 student athletes. That deserves a round of applause. But we also know that being a student athlete involves a lot more than just the academics. It is very hard work, it's stressful, sometimes very difficult, and we have a nutrition program that is going to be second to none. We're going to help these young people so that they take care of themselves, and we're also going to have mental health and all the things that go into helping the students adapt and deal with the various challenges that they have at the university. And that is something that I think is, I don't know if we're unique, but I can say we're going to be special, and there aren't many universities that look to those things as important as we do when it comes to taking care of our young student athletes. So now let me give you just a little bit of background, and I'll let Bob O'Loughlin come up and talk. little bit of background. We started this, Chris and I started talking, 6-8 years ago. And it sounded like a great idea, but it was not easy to get it off the ground because, as Dr. Pastello says, at St. Louis University, we had our fabulous campaign where we set a goal of $500 million and we raised $620 million. But raising that money was in a lot of different buckets. And so we had a separate bucket for our great facility here, and it took us a while to get it going. But the reason why we're here and the reason why it's been so successful is Bob O'Loughlin and his family and their lead gift. But Bob, actually, you all know Bob and all the things, and he'll tell you about them when he gets up here, but all the things that he is involved in the city of St. Louis, including the beautiful aquarium that he's built and all the other things that are fantastic. But one of the things that Bob said when we first met, Chris and I and Bob, was he wanted to make sure this was a best-in-class, incredibly excellent facility. And that's the way Bob has approached his business. If you go to anywhere he owns, they are incredible, with great class and great careful thought. And Bob has been involved in the design of this with his approach of excellence and careful thought. And so I'd just like to have everybody give Bob and the family a standing ovation for what they've done here today. And thank you all for all you've done. And I know there are many people here who have been donors. And so thank you for coming today, and go Bills.
Well, Joe beat me to it, but Bob, from the first time we really in depth started talking about this, we were coming back from a Final Four, and Bob looked me in the eye and he said, "What's it going to take for the Billikens to take the next step?" And that's really when we lit the fire. And it took many meetings at the MAC early morning. It took many trips across the country to look at facilities. But Bob was relentless in wanting it to be first class. He wanted it to represent St. Louis, not just St. Louis University, but everything there is good about St. Louis. He's what I call a great encourager, supporter, investor, and just a great friend of ours. So please help me welcome and thank Bob O'Loughlin.
You know, I hate to say this, but Joe stole my speech. He only left out a few of the properties that I wrote up for him, but Joe, next time I'm sure you'll hit it right on the spot. But no, it's a privilege to be here, and as our family, and I'd like to recognize our families here, my wife, Steve, who runs the day-to-day operation and does a phenomenal job, his wife, Crystal, Brian, Natalie, Emma, my right hand, Kathy Raftery, and her husband, Ray. We work every day on trying to make St. Louis a better place. All of our hotels are in the metro area. I've been involved in maybe 150 hotels around the country. I grew up on the East Coast. I went to Cincinnati, Oakland, San Francisco, and moved to St. Louis over 40 years ago. Our whole family fell in love with St. Louis. We love Midwestern people. We love the culture. And we're proud to say we're now adopted St. Louisans. But in that process, we've done very well with our company. And I wanted to give back to the community. And one of the things was when Chris and I were talking, and actually I got to give credit to Joe. I don't know if he did it on purpose or, I was being maneuvered or what, but he put me in charge of the athletic committee. And so Chris and I, as he stated, went to the Final Four, and we're coming back, and Chris said, what can we do as a game changer? And I said, we should do something for the student athletes that raises the bar. Every one of our hotels, here's a commercial part, Joe, that we got involved with. It took Union Station when it was in bankruptcy, and we wanted to raise the bar. So when the employees come to that property, they walk around and they go, wow, we're proud to work here. And it raises their level of service, which makes it easier for us to book conventions and meetings and banquets. Well, that's what this facility is going to do. And as Chris knows, we went to several universities. We looked at the best of the best. And I've got to give all the credit to Chris, Janet, the team that put this together, McCarthy that got behind it. It became not only a facility, but a labor of love. And when you see this facility, if you haven't seen it, as Chris said, one of the best in the country. I think it's not only going to help the student athletes, it's going to help the university, and more importantly, it's going to help the people that graduate to be good people, good citizens, and hopefully go out and are very successful and give back to their communities. So with that, I'd like to turn it back to Chris. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob. We're going to switch up our order a little bit. I get to introduce to you Mr. Soccer, some people call him, but Bill McDermott can speak to legacy better than anybody I know. Bill McDermott has been around this athletic program, was a soccer player here, connected to many, many of our soccer, but also connected to many of our athletes in the day. And Bill has seen many steps from West Pine Gym to Herman Stadium and on and on and on. But I thought what a great moment to help celebrate this day is to please help me welcome Bill McDermott to share a couple words. Bill.
Thank you, Chris. You'll excuse the cane. No one's body is supposed to play soccer for 55 years. Good afternoon. What a wonderful afternoon to be with you. You know, I started going to St. Louis University soccer games back in 1959, the first year for intercollegiate competition in the NCAA. I played here from 1966 to 1970, and I started announcing St. Louis U games from 1972 until right now, 2023, my 51st year of doing a labor of love. Now, I say that strictly and solely to tell you that St. Louis University soccer and the city of St. Louis are inseparable. Played my first game right over here at the now Herman Stadium, then Musial Field. Hundreds of events, soccer-wise, have been held at this venue. Chelsea trained here. Bosnia's national team trained here. Los Galacticos, Real Madrid, one of the most famous in the world, trained here. Ronaldo included. But you could play a World Cup game right now on this venue because of the surface. The best seek out the best. That's why they wanted to train here. What history, what an astounding pedigree set forth by this program. And all the while, we're reminded with reference to legacy, that legacy is not just leaving something for people, it's leaving something in people. With the new soccer legacy centers, along with now the O'Loughlin Champion Center, it's only fitting that St. Louis University soccer remains as one of the prime movers of the game in our country and as a sport for a changing America. Soccer in this country is enjoying a revolutionary new cachet. But the people in St. Louis knew that long, long ago. And they knew that any degree of popularity that the sport enjoys today in our country was started back here in St. Louis in 1875, the year of the first game here in St. Louis. But most importantly, for the sake of our conversation here this afternoon, the birthplace of intercollegiate soccer is right here at St. Louis University. And judging by the performances of the two respective teams, what we've created, we will indeed continue. Along the way, at times, the journey's been difficult, but I think you'll attest the results profound. Building a legacy and leaving a mark is an even bigger part of the picture because it starts to impact societies and where indeed we live. One of the Jesuit values is cura personalis, caring for the individual person. This new center will do exactly that. It will care for every athlete that will pass through its doors, not just in the facts that are mastered, but in the character that is formed. Remember, the Jesuits don't teach us what to think, they teach us how to think. Since 1959 for the men, 1996 for the women, St. Louis Youth Soccer has been a beacon in our city and will continue to do its part because what you do is your history. What you leave is your legacy. So congratulations, Bob, Joe, Dr. Pastello, Chris, and everyone involved in this new venue because St. Louis and St. Louis University are built together, and that's been happening here in St. Louis since 1818. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Dr. Pastello mentioned we're very honored to have the commissioner of the Atlantic 10 Conference here, Bernadette McGlade. Bernadette has been traveling the country. She has had this date on her calendar for many days. I was fortunate enough to give her a quick walkthrough. First thing she said was we should be letting Charlie Baker at the NCAA know about this. I already did last week, but please help me welcome the commissioner, Bernadette McGlade.
Thank you, Chris. It is truly an honor to be here today to celebrate what is unmistakably just a hallmark day for the Billigans, for this community, for St. Louis University. I certainly want to offer congratulations, not only congratulations, but thankful gratitude, and also to salute the McLaughlin family, the board, all of the donors, President Pastello, Athletic Director May. The vision of this facility will be a hallmark and certainly a benchmark for all institutions across the country. I not only see a ton, obviously all of the A10 institutions, but I travel and I see the ACC institutions and I see the Big Ten and I see all of the facilities that they have to offer. And I think it was mentioned earlier about most of the training centers. There are very, very few facilities that are as first class, state of the art, high tech as this, that are totally dedicated to the commitment of the student athlete. That undoubtedly this community, this university, and certainly all of the donors and all of the people that care about the Billigans have made a difference. And it's not only for all of the student athletes that are here right now today and competing and all of the coaches, but this is a legacy type of commitment, and this is a commitment that's going to shape the future of the citizens of this country, not only in the U.S., but all of the international students that are here. There will be a number of those students that do go on and stay in the sports type of business, but most of them are going to be our leaders going forward for the rest of their lives. So the impact of this building will be phenomenal. I can only say, like I said, it's an honor to be here. Thank you for letting me be a part of it, and it will set the bar for many institutions across the country. So congratulations.
All right, now we've got our president and vice president of our Student Athlete Advisory Committee. We've got Aaron Murray and Nora Kotnick, both from the track and the field hockey teams, to share a couple words from a perspective of our student athletes. So would you guys come on up?
When the building plans of the Olin Family Champion Center were first revealed back in October of 2021, our anticipation and excitement for the new building was through the roof. Those 2 years flew by, and the buzz of excitement among us grew greater each day as we walked past the construction site of the Champion Center on our way to Chaffetz Arena and saw the Champion Center come to life. We have many accomplishments to be proud of from years past due to the dedication and drive of our coaches and athletic department staff, not to mention all of our student athletes. But today, to have a state-of-the-art facility designed and constructed specifically for us, it's exciting to think about the degree of greater achievement and the level of elite play our program will experience going forward.
On behalf of all St. Louis University student athletes, Erin and I would like to thank every person that has allowed these plans to become a reality. First and foremost, the O'Loughlin family, for their generous donation. We thank you wholeheartedly. To all of the donors who have contributed to this building, your actions are beyond generous, and we are here because of you. To those who have labored to construct this building, your work is greatly appreciated. To Chris May and Janet Oberly, who have envisioned this building for years and have worked tirelessly for the means necessary to see it come to fruition. Even during a pandemic, your work does not go unnoticed, and we are extremely grateful for all of your hard work over the years.
The O'Loughlin Family Champion Center encompasses the essential resources that athletes need, from nutrition to film rooms to academic success and mental health resources, just to name a few. This building will impact SLU athletics for the better and allow student athletes to have a space where we can build community while upholding our values. This year and every year to come, we are sure to have a new and distinct sense of success in every aspect. It's an understatement to say that we are excited to make the O'Loughlin Family Champion Center an everyday part of our lives. Again, on behalf of all student athletes, we'd like to express our gratitude and appreciation to everyone that has made this day a reality. Thank you.
Great job, you guys. And now we're going to hear from our coaches as we finish up here today. Katie Shields and Travis Ford, if you guys would come up and share a couple words, and then we'll have Father Rozier come up as we finish this thing off. Katie?
Hi, everyone. I'm honored to be up here and just share a little bit about what this project means for us coaches and our programs. First, Bob O'Loughlin and family. We often tell our women, people invest in what they believe in. And so thank you for believing in our women and men, and you've really changed our daily experience for here on out at SLU Athletics. Dr. Pastello, your leadership at SLU has allowed all of us to dream a little bit bigger, aspire a bit higher, and the O'Loughlin Family Champion Center is the perfect example of what your transformational leadership has rippled throughout the SLU community. Thank you. Chris May, this project for us coaches and leaders in the department, it's an incredible example of what setting a lofty vision or goal looks like, pursuing it with relentless passion, and creating an environment for others to succeed and find their best selves in. So thank you for the example of leadership. Dr. Janet Oberly, to know Janet, which I'm sure all of us here do, is to know the incredible amount of capacity and volume she manages on a daily basis here at SLU. And to then add a project of this magnitude, which in itself is a full-time job, that in itself is just unimagiable. But then you see the outcome, and we're about to see the beautiful outcome. And it's absolutely astounding, Janet, what you've done these last 4 years, and the way you still manage to care and love every member of this department is nothing short of remarkable. And so often, I think the dream is better than the reality. But in this case, having been able to get some sneak peeks, the reality far exceeds what the dream is. And this project, this building, it elevates us immediately in college athletics and in 3 layers. And I know different people have talked about it, but the individual, how it's going to 360 touch their experience on a daily basis, our individual teams and how they get to grow and come together, but most importantly, I think the entire Billiken athletic community. And so some have heard me say this before, but I believe the Champion Center, from prospective student athlete to Billiken graduate will become the heartbeat and soul of Billiken athletics. Lately in our program, we've been talking a lot about what makes a great team and the correlation of connection and how that leads to commitment to something. And to build commitment, there has to be that connection, and you really build that connection in 2 ways. The first being geography, so being shared space, and then the second really being time and shared experience. And the deeper the connection, the greater the commitment to one another, to the mission, to the community. And one of our department values, as Chris mentioned, is a commitment to excellence. And I believe the Champion Center, it's going to deepen and broaden that connection that at the end of the day is going to deepen and broaden the commitment to excellence in all of Billiken athletics to win championships, but more importantly, deliver on a transformational experience to the women and men of Billiken athletics. So thank you again. We are so proud to be Billikens.
First of all, just thank everybody for coming out today. And you know, as a former student athlete myself and a long-time college coach, you dream about facilities like this. You sit around and think about it, and a lot of times it's only a dream because these things don't happen easily. They don't happen overnight. It takes special people to get things like this done. And I have been fortunate to see some great college facilities as a coach and as a player, and I can absolutely 100% tell you this is the best of the best. So thank you for everyone, all the donors that made this happen. Over the last 5 to 7 years, I think Billiken Athletics has probably seen some unprecedented success on the fields, on the courts, in a lot of areas, from championships to NCAA tournaments and on and on. And just like this building, it takes great vision and leadership to achieve anything. Anything worth getting is you're gonna have to set goals, have great vision and great leadership. And you can add this to the list. At the very top of the list of all the successes under Fred Pastello, Joe Conran, Chris May, Janet Oberly, you can put this at the top of the list of the successes under them, and they continue to just keep coming and coming. Let's give them another round of applause. Thank you guys for your leadership, and thank you for your vision, and not just talking the talk, but walking the walk. It's not easy. It's not easy. And in today's, you see it in news every day. In college athletics, there's a lot of challenges. A lot of challenges. You hear a lot of negatives. You don't have to look far for, whether it's on social media, on the television, of negative things being said about college athletics. Well, this is what's good about college athletics. This is what makes college athletics great. And, you know, I want to thank the O'Loughlin family, and I've been fortunate enough to get to know Bob and Steve pretty well. And I can tell you, it's not as much about putting their name on a building as much as it is about making a difference in people's lives. That's why they decided to step up, to make a difference. And this building here will make a difference in our student athletes and coaches' lives every single day. It will change lives, not only make a difference, but it will change lives. We will come through this building every single morning with incredible pride, a little more pep to our step, and be very proud to be Billikens. So thank you for everyone that made this happen. It is a difference maker. It's going to change lives, and I can't wait to get in it. So thank you.
Okay, and now I want to introduce to you. He is a longtime partner of ours, Father Michael Rozier. Father Rozier is our department chaplain. He is a leader on campus. I will tell you the #1 office is right there, and that's where our Jesuits are going to work out of, right next to the sanctuary. But part of the development of our spiritual development program was Michael's vision, and it was his vision to help us serve student athletes every day. And so it's really my honor to bring up Father Rozier to share a word and a blessing of our building, and then we're going to cut the ribbon and we'll get this party started. So, Father Rozier.
Thank you, Chris. I think that he put my office there so he could keep an eye on me, but I realize I'm standing between you and seeing the facility. Just a couple quick thoughts. First, you've heard from Dr. Pastello about educating the whole person, and from Bill McDermott about Cura Personalis, and from Katie, Coach Shields about the 360 experience. This, to me, is a true manifestation of Jesuit education. We talk about the importance of mind, body, spirit, and as you walk through this facility, I just want you to soak in the fact that it is the nutrition, it is the physical excellence, it is mental health, it is career services, it is spiritual development. And the fact that when they were trying to raise funds for this, it would have been so much easier if they had just left one or two of those off. Said, you know what, it's going to be easier if we just leave this piece of it off. But the commitment to our student athletes and their entire education as full human beings is central to this facility, and it excites me so much. The other thing is a really important Jesuit in my life once told me, believe in a God who has bigger dreams for you than you have for yourself, and surround yourself with people who have bigger dreams for you than you have for yourself. And this is exactly what the leadership who's spoken today have: bigger dreams for our student athletes than hopefully they have for themselves, and that will be realized in the years to come. So let's bow our heads and pray for God's blessing. Loving God, builder of all good things, from whom all good things and blessings flow, we gather in gratitude for the leaders and the donors whose generosity made this facility possible, the laborers whose gifts brought it out of the ground, for the coaches and staff who will lead our student athletes to be their fullest selves, and most particularly for our student athletes, those who have gone before us, who have built the legacy that we now stand upon, those of today and tomorrow who will strengthen mind and body and spirit in this facility. May all who enjoy the Olin Family Champion Center know the dreams that God and those around us have for ourselves will always be bigger than what we think is possible. And we bless this in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Amen.
Awesome. So if we could get the people up here who are cutting the ribbon, we've got a ribbon to cut. We've got to open these doors and welcome everybody in. Thank you for coming. Band, have at it. Let's hear a little band. Matt's in charge.
Down there?
Yep. Don, Pat. Where's Aaron? There you go. Sincere. Sincere. There you go. Go right next to him. Can I do this? How are you? Alan. Sneak in there, Alan.
We good?
All right, now the moment y'all been waiting for, right? We'll join me in a countdown. We'll cut the ribbon and we'll open the doors. All right, you ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.